All right, the third review, but a review of the third and fourth episodes slash kind of one thing. The Reptile Room. Um, I was kind of anticipating these, but a little less because it wasn't Barry Sonnenfeld. Um, but while I was watching, I noticed that the third episode, or the fourth episode, said that it wasn't written by Daniel Handler, which, by the way, I forgot to mention that the first two were written by Daniel Handler, and then the third one is written by Daniel Handler, but the fourth one is not for some reason. Um, so that episode is a different director that's fine with a different writer. So, anyways, I'm gonna start from episode 3. It's a different director, so it doesn't feel exactly the same. It kind of feels like it feels familiar, like it feels like it's part of the show, but you can at least I could clearly tell that it's definitely a different type of thing. Because this director did some different stuff, and it more seemed like he was making it look as good as it did before, and as cool and different and unique and colorful. Um, just because he had to. I don't really think that was something he wanted to do, and I don't think he would have done it if he would have had a choice. And he probably had a little bit of a choice, but there's really no choice if you're going to be doing the show because you're doing the third episode. So, um, but it still was good. It wasn't bad or anything. It still looked really great. It still was really colorful. It was still well acted. But I will say that I do remember that the beginning of the series I really liked, but it like at first I think like the first three books are each book you go to a different guardian, but then I think after that it starts to get into its own little thing and more serialized and not just a new guardian every book. I'm probably misremembering, but all I know is that I know that eventually I don't think that they keep changing guardians, and I think that just to become serialized. Um, the guy who was playing Montgomery was really good. I really like him, but I don't want to spoil anything. But I was very surprised at the way that they ended it, and then it made the next episode. I don't know. It's not that it was different from the book. It's that it was told in a way that I didn't think it was going to be. I figured they would try to expand more in the first, so that would carry over into the second, and then they wouldn't have focused as much as they did on the stuff in the second. They wouldn't have focused as much on the stuff that they focused on in the second episode. I think that's what I wanted to say. Um, because the second episode is so weirdly it's less colorful, and in fact it's really not that colorful, and it's more dreadful. And at one point they said it was like I think Olaf said it was cloudy, and I tend to agree. It was pretty cloudy up above, and maybe what they were trying to do was that at that time that's just how the world was, and so everything didn't look as good. But I was a little shocked because it felt different, it just didn't feel the same, and none of the writing in that was the same, and it just also didn't at least look pleasant because it looked kind of drab and depressing. um but this episode, episode 4, focused on one thing. They were contained into one area, and it got old fast. But at the end, the last, like, I don't know, 7 minutes, so maybe like the last quarter, um, not quarter, what am I talking about? I don't know, like the last like 7 or 10 minutes had some interesting stuff, and throughout had some interesting stuff. I also liked what we learned in the two episodes combined. Um, I do think they're making a little bit of a mistake on, if you've seen the previous one, then I can talk about this. If not, spoiler alert, but I'm assuming you've seen these episodes. I'm surprised they're using the parents as frequently as they are. I think that's going to be a little bit of a misstep, most likely. But so far, I like it enough. But obviously, I don't love it because I just think it's a little overdone. But I don't really want to make this review go too much longer, so I'm going to wrap it up by saying the first episode was good. It is, I'd say it's as good as the first two. I just didn't like it quite as much because it was a little bit of a different feel to it, and it was a different director. But it was still written by Daniel Handler. Then the next one, different director, not written by Daniel Handler. That one, it's still great, but it just, the fact that it's not as good as the previous three makes it seem so bad, but it's really not that bad. I don't, like I said, if you read the description of the last one, I don't rate episodes, but I'll just let you know that the fourth episode wouldn't quite be perfect from me, a 10. The first one would, though. Like I said, it's the same quality for me personally, but the fourth one, just not quite there, but close enough. Oh, I didn't say it. I don't know why. Anyways, it kind of felt like they, maybe had not as much of a budget. Like, they had a huge budget on the first three, and then they said, okay, on the fourth one, let's have less. And so then they kept it in one area, didn't make it as colorful, and didn't pay Daniel Handler to write it or something. I don't know. Just maybe that's what it was. Anyways, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to make this go any longer. Thanks for watching. Press that like button if you liked the video. Press that subscribe button if you liked me. Comment below. Have you seen these 2 episodes? If you have, what you think about them? Have you seen the series? If you have, what you think about it? Have you read the books? If you have, what you think about them? Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.